organizers, and I've been coming here for a while, and I'm glad to meet you all again. And today, the news come from India. We need more Ambedkar for India. Every moment, any issues or cases or events of atrocities coming from India, which burns, wounds, and bleeds our heart, says that we need more Ambedkar in India. Especially, I'm coming from Kerala. We never even study Ambedkar in school when I was growing up. When we are talking about freedom struggle and independence and anti-colonial movements in the schools, when I was growing up, we only hear some names like Nehru, Gandhi, and so on, Patel, and Ambedkar was there, a person with a suit and tie, looked like an Englishman. And nobody asked questions about Ambedkar. Say Ambedkar, there is another names come through. But when we start to read Ambedkar, actually 1980s only Ambedkar's work started to translate to Malayalam. And the Dalit people in Kerala even start to read Ambedkar very late, because these translations are coming through Kendra Sahitya Academy, and these bad translations of Ambedkar's work being distributed very poorly in Kerala. After 1990s, people start to read Ambedkar. But in Kerala, before I go into this Ambedkarite movement in Kerala, so I want to say something about what is really Ambedkar's thoughts meant to the other parts of India, not in Maharashtra, and especially now still the Ambedkarite thoughts are not even penetrated the so-called the heart of India, which is this 500,000 villages, the idealized, romanticized village societies, which theoretically, philosophically, Dr. Ambedkar, Babasaheb confronted and defeated all these mainstream liberal arguments about, the Western liberal arguments about romanticizing Indian villages, which is extremely oppressive, which is actually, we cannot even compare the atrocities of caste violence and its casualties to transatlantic slave trade. And actually, this 2 millenniums of atrocities is one of the major casualties in human history. But we are not really addressing that in the global sense. I think that casteism is not even considered as racism globally. So that is another thing. But right now, we have the entire work of Dr. Ambedkar online now. Anybody can access around the world. Now we are reading Ambedkar. Now everyone wanted Ambedkar. BJP wanted Ambedkar. Marxist Party wanted Ambedkar. And all these major, even we have Ambedkarite theologians now. So I'm coming from Kerala. Kerala have Christians, Muslims, and Marxists, a major religion. I included Marxism, Leninism as a religion in Indian context, especially Kerala context, which is almost all these major religions are across the religious lines, they are casteist. especially the Christians in Kerala, especially so-called Nasranis, Syrian Christians, are the major vehicles of Brahminical values in Kerala. Kerala Christians, the Dalit Christians especially, have separate chapels, separate churches recently. Even the major upper caste Christians, they call themselves upper caste, but all their claims of these Brahminical conversions are the pseudo claims that we all know, the historians know. But actually, this identity of caste itself on fictional construct always. Is the subalternity also, the lower caste, upper caste dichotomy also, both are constructed. That the casteism have a kind of very kind of precarious dynamics. Every person who is considered lowest of this caste hierarchy have always somebody down to look upon and claim their nobility. Especially from Kerala, we have major Dalit caste, Pulayas and Parayas and all several castes. Among the Pulayas, one of the major castes where Mahatma Ayyangali coming from. Pulaya caste, within the Pulaya caste, we have several subcastes. There is Kuda Pulayan, there is Pal Pulayan, there is Velayama Pulayan. That's in the top, like Brahmins. So these Pal Pulayans or Velayama Pulayans don't even associate with Kuda Pulayans. So this Brahminical social structure is created in every caste, every group, every community. And this strange power dynamics of casteism, which is always giving a person to look down upon somebody and claiming their little nobility. That is very much dangerous. But Babasaheb addressed this in a different way. He drew his energy from Buddhism. How it is Buddhism? See, this discourse was happening in India for millenniums, for thousands of years. Even ever 6th century Buddhist theoretician, Buddhist theologian, somebody called, somewhere called. So there is a Buddhist thinker called Dignaga. Dignaga did a discourse in ancient university settings called Nalanda. The transcripts are still available, where he is bringing Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna is a Buddhist philosopher that all we know, who was introduced very sophisticated philosophy of Madhyamika Darshana. That is, and later in Western post-modern philosophers like even Derrida or I am not just dropping the names that this young, even post-modern philosophers drawing energy from the ancient theory of Anatmavada or young Shunyata-vada. I'm coming back here. Then the first time in Indian intellectual discourse, Dignaga was addressing Brahminical social order and its karma theory, which is the driving force of casteism. And the chakra of Janimurdis and the karma theory, every poor Dalit or any downtrodden person happily enjoying their misery in order to reborn as a Vipra, as a Brahmin or a upper caste person next generation. That theory was confronted by Dignaga by Anatmavada. This Atma theory, where there is a soul theory of this Brahminical Brahminism, Brahminical religion, rationalize the karma theory. So, Babasaheb Ambedkar, what Babasaheb did, this strain of Buddhism, which is taken from this priestly, cheesy, traditional Buddhism, to take that and use it in a new way in order to regain the soul, the regain the internal power, actually the confidence of the depressed class, and recreate and confront casteism in philosophical manner. The first time, this time, Babasaheb used to confront, to defeat Brahminical social structure philosophically. That is the relevance of Babasaheb's embarrassment of Buddhism. That is the political relevance of it. But when I am talking, this is little complex philosophical issue, but I have to mention that. So let me come back. Right now in the digital age, there is zeros and ones. But beyond that, there is no certain identity. Before we go to the subatomic level, in post-human level, which is quantum level, there is zeros and one can be both, entitled to both. At the same time, we can deconstruct all these binaries. So there is no certain identities. So we can use this so-called extended post-human tools to philosophically confront all binary ideas of divisions. So it's still philosophical. Let me leave it there. So I'm coming back to Kerala. Kerala, we have liberated Christians. They say there is no caste, but we have caste. But Muslims say they don't have caste, but they have caste. But every single Dalit movement is hijacked by various forces, which was really claiming and benefactors of these Brahminical values. For example, recently we have a Dalit organizations organized a Kayal conference in Kerala, which was main guest was Narendra Modi a few years ago. And as we know, that is Dr. Ambedkar was saffronized all over. And at the same time, the Christianity is also thinking about having a Dalit chair or Dalit platform on the side. Muslims also thinking about grabbing Dalit constituency. That was also connected with our peculiar vote bank politics. But what we supposed to do beyond all these interpretations, beyond all their agendas, we have to go back to the core. See Babasaheb through his works. It is available. We have to start to read. In Kerala, in early 90s, there is new land movement was emerged all over, especially Chengara. The first one is the Muttanga. It was based on Adivasi struggle. C.K. Jaru was in the top. Then Chengara, these Adivasis and Dalit people create a common platform to reclaim their space, their right to have their own land. But the middle class communist people in 1950s, they done their land reforms, but this land went to these OBCs, and actually that was Shudra upper caste people. Actually, traditionally, Kerala Dalit movement was hijacked by the liberal upper caste leaders. But the first Dalit voices is coming from even early 90s. And late 90s, the Chengara, there is a huge piece of land owned by Hyacinth Malayalam Plantation. That plantation was owned, this land, there is a group of Dalit people, thousands of families, under the leadership of Chengara, Laha Gopalan, at Chengara, captured this land. They refused to get out of the land. And that siege went so long. From that moment, there was another young men's group emerged that is called a DHRM, Dalit Human Rights Movement. Dalit Human Rights Movement portrayed, and they wear jeans and black shirts. And they have their Babasaheb's picture in their chest. The first time in Kerala scene, Ambedkar's movement actually appeared in its full militancy in 2008. And actually, that was a serious event in Kerala. That movement was, and in one of my last film, Papilio Buddha, I was trying to capture that that movement. Part of that is a little bit fictionalized. But I'm coming back to my subject. The organizers asked me to talk about cinema and their presence. In Kerala, the first Malayalam film, Vikata Kumaran, which came out in 1928. There was a female actress in the film named P.K. Rossi, who was a Dalit female who acted as a Shudra Nair woman. The film in 1928 came out and it was screened one place, opened in Toronto, and it was a huge uproar from Nair community. A Dalit woman acted as a upper caste girl. And after that, people forget about this film, people forget about this actress, and what happened to her. She was exiled from Kerala. She went to Tamil Nadu somewhere. She has totally vanished. After then, there is no Dalit presence in Malayalam cinema. In 2012, one of the land struggle leader in Kerala, Kallan Pukuden, was actually in Papilio Buddha, which is, I happen to be associated with the film. He was the first person who is acted himself in the history of Malayalam cinema first, as Dalit himself. When we present this film in Toronto, there's a lot of people who is Dalit people associated with this film come to watch the preview in Toronto. They came from Changara, they came from Attingal, these are different parts of Kerala, in train early morning. So the African people with their actually working dress, they're coming. And they come to this theater and the cops start to doubt what is going on. When certain group of people, especially the people getting together, even to watch a film, it's rising doubts. And this so-called Kerala was totally segregated as Dalit colonies. When we are talking about segregation, in Kerala, intellectuals, especially liberal Marxist intellectuals, say, segregation about Jim Crow South or something. But in Kerala, there is about 25,000 Dalit colonies. 90%, 99% of the people who is living in Dalit colonies are Dalit people. And they own even 0.01% of the land in Kerala. They are actually landless, still landless. These people are struggling to survive. From these colonies, people start to come to watch this film. What Kerala government did, they sent the cops and they shut down the theater. And the film cannot be come out. And I went to court and we fight about a few years in the court. Later, the central government, so-called appellate tribunal of this censor board, which is kind of a godly figure in Indian cinema, and they asked, they will give us the censor certificate in the condition I have to blur an effigy bearing scene of Gandhi, and they have to take off a quotation from Babasaheb. That is it. No nudity or anything. They don't have any problem. They have a problem with the quote of Babasaheb. What is that quote? That's very interesting. The longest satyagraha, Mahatma Gandhi, so-called, I'm quote unquote Mahatma, did in 1932, which is in Narwada jail, which is not against the British people. It's against the so-called, then called untouchable people of India, or depressed class of India. Now we call Dalits. Babasaheb forced to sign Bonaparte and give up the constitutionally given the communal award. Then then Prime Minister of England and in Britain, Bernard Ramsay, declare the communal award, the separate constituency for the first class. But Babasaheb forced to give up that rights. Then Babasaheb mentioned about the fasting of Gandhi. Fasting is a foul act, a filthy act, which is most corrosive act against the untouchable people of India, the first class of India. This is the quote that India government asked me to delete from my film. And that is the situation. So then we know that the entire pantheon of the anti-colonial movement in India, Nehru, Patel, and Gandhi, and these colossal figures, then they projected our violation now. The one figure is emerging from this ocean of these demagogues, who is the only one figure who is rising than Babasaheb now. So now BJP need a saffronized Babasaheb. Now Christians need a particular discussion, particular space, and particular chair for particular shrine for Babasaheb within their patio. And this is happening all over. We have to be careful. We can, that is one thing recently, one of the Hindu nationalist person recently told me Babasaheb was supporter of RSS because he was friends with Sarwakar or something. And there is another person saying, oh, Babasaheb was against the Muslims. I pick up one volume about Pakistan and partition and bring up, and Babasaheb study subjects very grassroots level and analyze it, and he deconstructs how the dichotomy within Islam, which is fidels and infidels, and how to deal with it. He is explicitly talking about how anti-democratic in any religion, which is institutionalized, the priesthood or any kind of institutionalized theocratic setup